Good evening and welcome to the Money Show, the show that puts your money matters front and center. In a world full of financial noise, we are here to bring you clarity, confidence and control over your personal finances. Whether you're planning for retirement, building a portfolio, navigating debt or just trying to make smarter money decisions, this is your space, your guide and your daily check-in with your wallet. Every evening we bring you insights from top financial experts, decode the latest trends and answer your burning questions on saving, investing, spending and everything in between. Because here on the Money Show, we believe one thing. You don't have to be a finance expert to take charge of your money. You just need the right advice. And that's what we do every day on this show. So let's begin. And today we are doing a cyber security special because two major developments have shaken India's digital ecosystem and both have one thing in common: your money and your safety online. That's right. First story. Supreme Court's big intervention. In a rare and unprecedented move, the Supreme Court has taken suo motu cognizance of the growing menace of digital arrest scams. Now, scams that have already duped citizens on crores of rupees across the country. Now, these are frightening, high-pressure cyber crimes where imposters pose as law enforcement, intimidate people, and literally, digitally arrest them on video calls until they transfer money. The court has made its intent crystal clear: no leniency, no easy bail. In fact, the Supreme Court has forbidden lower courts from granting bail to the accused in these digital arrest cases. A rare order that underlines the gravity of this fast-growing cyber threat. Second story. SEBI steps in to protect investors once again, like every time. And on the other side of the financial system, the market regulator SEBI has swung into action with online investment scams rising sharply. SEBI has asked platforms to immediately fast-track two major reforms: mandatory advertiser verification. Only SEBI-registered entities can advertise investment products or services. This cuts out fake gurus, pump-and-dump operators and fraudulent investment schemes. Verified status for apps. That's right. SEBI-registered intermediaries will now carry clear labels on app stores. This means investors can finally differentiate a legitimate trading app from a fraudulent one. Together, the Supreme Court's crackdown and SEBI's regulatory tightening marks a clear message out here. India is definitely waking up to cyber fraud and the era of unchecked digital scam is over. To break down what this means for you, how you can protect your identity, your data and your money, joining us now is Anuj Agarwal, cybersecurity expert and chairman of the Center of Research on Cyber Crime and Cyber Law. Hi, evening and welcome to the show.
Hi.
Anuj, so let's understand this, and especially Supreme Court's suo motu on digital arrest. Anuj, the Supreme Court has rarely taken suo motu cognizance on cybercrime earlier. Talking about this specific problem, how big does this problem have to be for the court to step in on its own?
See, Kavita, that shows that our courts are very much rooted to the ground. Suo motu cognizance means the honorable judges are fully aware about the gravity of the situation and they themselves feel that they need to step in. If you look at the order on the 17th, when the cognizance was taken by the honorable court, they have said in their order that ordinarily, normally in due course, we would have asked the agencies to take up, one of the agencies to take up this matter. But since it involves senior citizens of the country, their entire lifetime savings, as well as the criminals using orders purportedly given by Supreme Courts and the High Courts of the country. So the gravity is little too much for them to digest and give it to somebody else, but not take themselves. So what they have done is they have made it as suo motu cognizance and they have issued notices to all the state police. They have issued notices to the Home Secretary, and of course, they have asked CBI and everybody else, the Solicitor General as well as the AG of the country, to assist them to understand and then of course figure out a solution. So I think they are there now to solve this, which should have been otherwise done by the government. So that's a great development.
Absolutely, it's a great development, and Anuj, digital arrest scams have become disturbingly common now. These scams are psychological, they are powerful, they are effective. Also, the court has even forbidden granting bail to the accused. That's also a very drastic step. Now, we really want to understand. Do you believe this will meaningfully deter cyber criminal networks? Are these gangs operating domestically, or they are coordinated with international cyber syndicates targeting Indian citizens? How does it work?
That is true to a certain extent. These
Okay.
syndicates are definitely global in nature,
Mm-hmm.
and all cyber crimes, unfortunately, are being conducted through interstate mechanism. So the police, which has a local mandate, a state mandate, the police is under the local state administration. They are finding it really difficult to nab the culprits in the other states. And now this angle of global or the international syndicates are definitely there, which the police authorities and even the CBI in coordination with the Interpol, they had been conducting searches, and there had been a lot of raids in other countries. Some of them are Cambodia and other places. And those large syndicates have been found operating from there as an organized call center kind of a setup. So I think it is very right on the part of the Honorable Supreme Court to step in and coordinate and instruct all the agencies across the country, highest agencies, including the Home Ministry, to really look at that. You see, this kind of crimes are not only financial in nature. You see, please understand, if a person who is now retired and his entire or her lifetime savings are going into these kind of crimes, just imagine the kind of economic death that person is suffering. It is not only the money loss, it is the complete loss of peace in his or her coming life. A person who would have been law abiding the entire life and suddenly become on the other side and not getting help, money is not coming back, and then they are supposed to come to the courts and do all this. Police is definitely slow. They are working hard, I am sure they must be, but they are really slow to get resolutions. So I think it is the high time and the right step that the Honorable Supreme Court has taken the cognizance of this whole thing, and we can expect a real solution, not a customary or a simple solution.
That's what, the right solution, and having the right kind of infra to, put a full stop on these kind of cyber criminal networks is very important. We have to move on to the other story as well. But then before I do that, any specific reason why senior citizens are being targeted? It's not the first case where we have seen a senior citizen being attacked by cyber criminals like this, Anuj.
A very good question. You see, they had been law abiding, they had been coming from an era where they would expect that if anybody is calling as a police or a court is being shown on the screen, they are supposed to be law abiding, and they are supposed to be cooperating. So they believe they are cooperating with the law of the land, and they are actually being protected. They are supportive of the idea that they are helping in some kind of an investigation. And of course, most of them are retired from government services or otherwise having some good amount of savings for their difficult days. So they are being targeted, and of course, some of them are, have some age kind of an issues. So they are more vulnerable as far as the other people having less support available from the family and the ecosystem. So all these factors put together, they are becoming an easy target and very difficult and very bad situation.
Absolutely. Let's move on to the other story. Now, SEBI's new cyber financial safeguards. Anuj, SEBI's move to verify advertisers, label genuine intermediary apps. How big of a change is this for an average investor? A lot of fraudulent apps look identical to genuine ones, Anuj. Now, SEBI's verified label, will it actually simplify investor decision making and, safeguard them as well?
First of all, we must understand that this is another major problem which is afflicting the entire society, especially the young people or those who have had some savings and they are trying to invest and make some money out of the market. And there are huge scams going on in the name of the digital apps, marketing apps, and of course, there are so many advisors who are active on the social media platforms. So far, there was nothing for an ordinary person to really figure out who is the right person or who is the wrong person. So for some time, we also had been discussing this on your channel and other channels, and at least SEBI has woken up and they have taken this as their responsibility. So they have started understanding that they are also responsible. It is not only that the people have to see themselves and look at their damn websites and figure out what the right and the wrong thing is. So this is not the only solution. This is not going to be the only effective solution. But we are very happy that at least SEBI has started thinking about that. And as a first step, they have gone for this. And this is definitely going to be effective, at least for those who want to be a little vigilant. Those who are completely sleeping still, probably something more has to be done. But those who are vigilant, those who are educated, those who are looking for cues, for them, it is definitely going to help.
And you know what, Anuj, it's very important to have other stakeholders also on the same page. I'm talking about regulators like RBI and TRI. Should they also introduce similar verification and labeling frameworks to fight fraud across digital system? They all need to come together.
Absolutely correct. The Ministry of Communication has put up a portal called Sarthi, and from there they are trying to say that please look at authenticity of the mobile numbers which they are talking. But and RBI is, I think, lagging behind, except issuing the very large sized directions and advisories and those old paper style things. They are not very active in the market. While it is their responsibility as being the regulator for the entire financial system, banks, financial institutions, and everybody who is dealing with money. They should be more proactive. As a matter of fact, it is who matters in this market. It is the RBI, because they are the controlling authority. So every bank, every financial institution will actually listen to them more than anybody else. But they are definitely lacking and lagging behind. And I think it's high time that the government must think that RBI is on a very top level authority. They must have a similar powered authority within RBI or directly under the ministry, who is going to look after the operational part of it. They are more into policy making, which they should be continuing, while the operational part should be given to any other authority.
Absolutely. Now, Anuj, in India's current cybercrime reporting infrastructure, let's talk about that. Do you think it's still enough? We can see steps. We are discussing about those steps, right? But look at the rate of victims. Are these steps enough for the kind of victim we are, getting to see or are getting reported? What should victims do in the first hour after being scammed? Because although we keep discussing about this, although we keep talking about the golden hour time, I don't really know or understand if people are really acting towards it, because the number of victims is still going high.
You are very right. There is complete lack of awareness about the National Cybercrime Portal as well as the National Cybercrime Helpline 1930. People, when they start believing that they have been duped, they start discussing among themselves. While they should be more aware and everybody should have this number on their phone, and they must immediately call a 1930, which is the National Cybercrime Helpline, with the transaction ID, the UTR, through which the cybercrime has happened, and immediately inform them, get this notified to them, so that at least the money can be stopped in the track. Yes, the government has to be more friendly. The cybercrime portal most of the time is not working as per the expectations of the people. People are not supposed to be IT experts. See, so the portal which is there should be in the form of an interactive portal which is asking few questions in multiple languages and filling the information on behalf of the victims. Number one, the victim itself is now so much in a difficulty because he or she has lost money, and after that the portal struggle, I mean, which is little too much. Second, such portals or the helpline should be more available in the states. So somehow this whole thing has to be really revamped at a very large scale, because if you look at the number of victims, which is in thousands per hour, it is not per day. So if you have victims in thousands per hour speaking multiple languages from different social strata, some poor, some are educated, some are not educated, some are having access to a smartphone, some are not having access to internet and PC. So, keeping all this in mind, the every department of police or local authorities must have a mechanism by which people should get immediate help, which is right now not happening.
Right. One last question before I let you go. Finally, beyond regulation, what personal cyber security habits do you believe every Indian must adopt right now? This has been my ending questions in all my shows, and even today I'm going to end this discussion with this question because this is something basic hygiene that we all need to learn.
I fully appreciate your effort. Number one is, of course, India has a unique thing called OTP, one time password. Never ever share it with anybody. That's the golden rule. Second, do not make your phone compromise by clicking on betting schemes where somebody says, I'll give you something, a very high value item for 5,000 rupees, or you click and you get X amount of money for free. So all these so-called free schemes or 90% discount schemes are likely infect your computer with a virus, which will steal your OTP and other personal information. And of course, never ever click on any link which is helping you to make quick money. So I think these three, four small things you do on your phone, and you are going to be cyber safe.
Absolutely. We can continue this conversation for almost an hour, but then my time is up. Thank you so much, Anuj. And, in such short span, you could explain so many things and help our viewers be aware and take care of their money online. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you.
Thanks. And for all our viewers, very important for you to be cyber safe. But then with that, we come to an end for this discussion, this segment. Let's take a quick break, and post that let's focus on your financial portfolio queries. We'll be joined by Anil Rego, who will be live with us and will be answering your portfolio queries. In case you want to send across any questions, you can WhatsApp us your queries on the WhatsApp number that's flashing on the screen. And we also have an email ID where you can keep writing to us and keep sending us questions, and we will do your live financial planning on the show. See you after this break.